Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this Veteran's Opinion. As promised, we'll be bringing you the article of who qualifies as a veteran. It's from mymilitarybenefits.com newsletter that I received. The article is done by Joe Wallace, September 30th, 2025. It says, who qualifies to be called a veteran? The official site for the United States Census says approximately 19 million U.S. men and women have served on active duty. And are all of these people veterans? And just as importantly, why are so many people asking who counts or does not count as a vet? And that's related to military benefits during basic training. The question was related out of. Any links or anything I find in this, I will share in the description there on YouTube. You can click on the link, see this article, click on the other links. So how the Department of Veteran Affairs defines a veteran. Table of contents, it's going to be how the Department of Veteran Affairs defines a veterans. Then it goes into VA minimum duty requirements, who qualifies as active duty, who qualifies as a veteran, why is this question important, and about the author. So according to VA.gov, veteran status refers to a person who served in the active military, naval, or air service, and who was discharged or released therefrom under conditions other than dishonorable. A general discharge, honorable discharge. This is part of the criteria for qualifying for VA healthcare benefits. See below, which we'll get to. 24 months of active duty service are typically required for active duty troops, with other criteria for Guard and Reserve members as well as we'll examine below. However, this is not the same criteria as other VA programs such as the GI Bill, which requires only 90 days of active service for those who sign up today. Who counts as a veteran? It may depend on which program you need. And it's got other agencies. The VA isn't the only government agency that defines what legally counts towards veteran status. State-level education benefits for veterans or survivor benefit programs may require a specific time served or may only require that the service member does not have a punitive discharge on their military records to qualify. And there's a link there, which I'll put in the description, is where to find state benefits for disabled veterans. Okay, VA minimum duty requirements. Qualify as a veteran. For this purpose of being approved for VA benefits, the following requirements may apply. There's no minimum time in service requirement exists for those who joined before September the 8th, 1980. Veterans who enlisted after September 7th, 1980, or who entered active duty after October 16th, 1981, must have served 24 continuous months or the full period for which they were called to active duty. VA.gov advises that the minimum duty requirement may not apply to veterans discharged for hardship, early out, or a disability incurred or aggravated in the line of duty. Those discharged before the 24-month requirement, but separated due to medical issues, hardships, or early out, may still qualify as veterans depending on circumstances. These requirements are established to determine eligibility for VA health benefits. They are not necessarily the criteria used to approve applications for other VA benefits like the GI Bill. which requires you to serve 90 days or more if you joined in the current service era. Members of the Guard and Reserve may qualify as veterans if the service member was on federal active duty for at least 180 days, the service member did not receive a punitive discharge, or they served 20 years or more with no punitive discharge. What qualifies as active duty? The DoD defines active duty service as follows: full-time duty in the active service of a uniformed service, including full-time training duty, annual training duty, full-time National Guard duty, and attendance while in active service at a school designated as a military service school by law or by the Secretary concerned. Who qualifies as a veteran? As we can see from the information above, there is no one-size-fits-all description of a veteran, at least not for the purpose of determining who qualifies for federal health care benefits, GI benefits, or even federal student financial aid. The nature of the benefits program you are applying to, the date you joined, and even the nature of your military service may all affect what it takes to be called a veteran. When identifying a person in the news as a veteran, the term is used more loosely than it is in the context of applying for VA benefits. People may inaccurately refer to someone as a veteran that did not complete a full 24 months of active duty or meet the other above criteria to qualify in the eyes of the VA or a given benefits program. In such cases, veterans is used less accurately, a type of cultural shorthand for someone who tried to enter the military regardless of the outcome. Why is this question important? To understand why the question, who counts as a veteran, is asked so frequently, we must examine multiple factors. One is the fact that not all who enlist or accept a officer commission to serve make it through their initial training phase. Some finish basic training but wash out during advanced training or technical school. Others make it all the way to their first assignment, only to be administratively separated before their first tour of duty is complete. Who among these is considered veterans? Any? And there's a link to that. It's called Active Duty Benefits Guide. I'll include that link in there. Another factor to consider is the impact of breaking news headlines. In 2023, a mass shooter incident brought the arrest of an alleged gunman named I'll probably mess up the name, so please forgive me. Marcio Garcia, who had spent 3 months in an Army boot camp before being separated to do what news outlets describe as a mental health issue. Did this person spend enough time in the uniform to qualify as a veteran? Pentagon press secretary was quoted in an ArmyTimes.com article stating that the individual does not qualify as a vet. Why or why not? This is, in the simplest terms, the alleged shooter did not serve long enough in active duty. He was still in basic training. Qualify as a veteran. That's the article by Joe Wallace. Again, September 30th, 2025. I'll include all the links I find in the description on YouTube. It does limit me to 5,000 characters, so I can't put this whole article in there, but I will fit what I can. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you know some veterans that may need this information, or you want to share it, please like, share, subscribe, send it over to your friends, make comments. I'll try to answer if I can. I'm by any means no expert. I'm just sharing the articles of news that I think needs to be shared that a lot of people may not be aware of. Again, I thank everyone for watching. Remember, if we don't help each other, no one else will. Thank you for watching. God bless.